Biz FemArk kolektifi, kesişimsel projeler üzerinde çalışan bir grup kadın mimarız.
On vit toutes à Berlin, mais on vient de contextes divers et nos centres d'intérêt sont différents.
En nuestros proyectos utilizamos estas perspectivas disidentes para cuestionar las normas y los estándares del entorno construido y de nuestra profesión.
Der F-Walk ist ein laufender Prozess, für den wir die Vielfalt subjektiver Raumerfahrungen und unterschiedlicher Zugangsmöglichkeiten zu Raum dokumentieren und diese auf eine körperbetonte Art vermitteln.
We understand listening as a critical practice, an active practice that develops and enhances awareness. Listening, understood as a point of departure for relational processes and a point of departure for conversation, for yourself and with others. What can listening to other people's stories do with us? How can we bring a spatial and collective aspect to listening? Can listening be understood as a collective spatial practice? The space in which we live can be seen through different perspectives. Space can be a place of meeting, a place of fear, a place of resistance. Environments are designed, but by and for whom?
This condition seems to be very, very deep, that me as a female body needs some kind of excuse, that I feel the urge to communicate with my environment why I have this, or the allowance to actually just hang out here. Squat the place with your presence. Try to avoid to be read as somebody who's waiting.
Rather than rushing through the space, I've begun to see the textures or the smells or the environment. There's things that are really interesting here. They begin to understand that you might be left out from the group because you can't move as fast as everybody else. So it just starts a whole new conversation.
If you argue that you should start from difference rather than add difference, what does that mean in terms of the kinds of teaching that you do, the kinds of activities that you do, the workshops, how it affects how people literally learn the subject? Again, not just you need to know this about disabled people, but how you think about the world and your place and the place of other people in it.
The city is full of traces of history. If you're on a street, keep moving to the next street sign nearby. Maybe there's no street sign, but other signs carrying names. What names do you see? Do you know the stories behind them?
No one understands how hard it is for us to breathe, how hard it is for us to wake up and exist, to be ourselves, when the whole world is telling us not to, from being pushed, shoved, kicked, followed, spat on, physically and mentally harassed.
Take a deep breath. Do you have spaces where you can be yourself freely?
As I walk in the Latinx block, it always feels surreal to be on the street. Taking so much space as a migrant woman of color, together with others, is really empowering. We sing, we scream, we dance, we run. Resistencia, resistencia, resistencia is a practice used by student movements in Latin America during demonstrations. Say the word 4 times, crouching down lower and lower as you say it. By the 3rd time you say it, you're almost on the ground. Then, with all the power of those 4 words, you run.